Hello and welcome to the Hatewatch podcast. Steph and Tom here ahead of the big World Cup third place playoff.
Oh,
Today there's only one place to start as we continue to come to terms with everything we hated about England's World Cup exit, plus a look ahead to the pointless bronze final and the small occasion of the final itself. Tom, it's been the best part of 48 hours since the final whistle in Atlanta. What is your current state of mind before we dive into this?
it's hard to put into words how the last sort of nearly 2 days have felt since that final whistle went the other night. It's been a complete roller coaster for me. One minute I can be completely fine with it, the next I'm really raging angry about it, and the next I'll just be depressed, and then it starts all over again. I'm sure we're gonna delve into all the goings on from the game and plenty to talk about afterwards as well. That seems to have the entire nation of England just like I've never seen a head loss like it. I think is the best way to describe it, and understandable as we'll delve into. How are you? Yeah, that's
Ah, I, I just, I think part of the reason I'm still quite annoyed is there's still football. It's still in America. Like,
yeah.
I need to get out of there, man. I
Mm,
need to like digest this, process this, and we've got to play a semi-competitive match.
yeah.
Um, Whether I watch it, I don't know
Mm,
because that football is the last thing I want now. Um, and obviously we'll dive into what went wrong and the reaction and everything. But uh, that game, I rarely come at a game that my team have lost and I'm actually like angry.
mm,
Usually, especially if it's a big game, I'm just upset and I'm
mm.
like behind the players and I'm like, well, at least we gave it a good go. And I guess you could say that, but uh, I was the way the day panned out and you know the ways we saw everything coming
Mhm.
and we just let it happen.
Yeah, just dumbfoundedness, I think, was my initial feeling. A bit of denial as well. I hadn't quite processed it till the morning after, but so many questions in all directions and just disbelief in how the final sort of 30 minutes played out, and just try and think who to blame, what to blame, why certain things played out as they did, why decisions were made, why they weren't. Yeah, it's been really, really hard. And comparing it to all the sort of exits we've had over the last sort of 8 years, it's been nowhere near as bad as this. Even Italy didn't feel like this for this long. And having to sort of digest it now and talk it through, I feel like I'm going to go through all the emotions all over again. And uh, it's gonna be
Yeah,
interesting chat. I think is
well, especially because I'm already disagreeing with you because
oh lovely.
I think I still think Iceland is worse.
Ah, no, I was over that within at
But
least a
it's not
day.
about yeah, but it's not about how easy you get over it.
No, that's what I was explaining. That's what I'm talking
Okay,
about, rather than the actual.
that's a
Oh yeah, yeah.
very
No, I wasn't.
personal problem you have getting
Yeah,
over a
yeah. No, I
result.
wasn't comparing the size of the defeats, as it were. It was just how I felt.
Yeah. Um, I mean, where do we begin? I mean, because I guess what we're going to try and do here, what started off as a potentially momentous day, has turned into basically like a self hate watch.
Mm,
Like we've ended up hate watching our own team through
yeah,
anger, and in the end, as we'll delve into later, I'm sure. I don't know about you, but I really sort of ended up with a real hatred for Argentina,
yeah,
the
yeah,
team, I should
yeah,
say,
yeah, yeah.
rather than the country and stuff. But like, they they're a bunch of pricks.
Yeah,
They really are, and
it's been interesting how that's built. I mean, for me as well. I think it's almost since the Cape Verde game onwards, I've just more and more sort of dislike for how they go about things. I mean, I was blinded a little bit in the last World Cup by them being my sweepstake team, so I really wanted them to win that after England went out, and was not really seeing the wood for the trees for how their antics were in the Netherlands game in that tournament. Whereas this
Yeah,
time
yeah.
around, just every time they've played, obviously with it being England the last time, has made it completely crescendo. But yeah, I'm with you on that. So many of their players have wound me up over the last week or so, especially over the last 36 hours.
So, where do we begin?
Well, I
I
guess
genuinely don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
I guess we can start with the lineup that Tuchel put out to start with the changes he made. Obviously, the one big one being Morgan Rogers on the right hand side. I think we sort of knew that Saka was never going to be fit enough to start, and with how Madueke played against Norway, it was always going to be whether Tuchel wanted to take that risk again with him sort of becoming a useless outlet in terms of the touches and directions he took the ball in that game. So Rodgers was almost like the last choice he had on that side, and I don't think he did anything wrong in that. Obviously, he got the assist for the goal for Gordon with a good cross and everything else, so he did his job there really well. But whether that then sort of shaped the decisions later on, I mean, it was a hindsight thing for me, remembering that he played the entire game. Like there was so many things like that maybe shouldn't have been a thing. He wasn't the outlet we needed for the last stages. So I think from the start it worked fine. It was just how that progressed after we went 1-0 up maybe was a bit of an odd decision. I remember when we spoke about it, when we saw, I think it was Ornstein was the first person who announced it, we were sort of slightly surprised, but not really in the end with that. We sort of feeling similar.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing about that for me is that's all about Saka's fitness level.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's by far and away our best option on that side.
Yeah.
And it's a case of, well, can we afford to have Noni Madueke firing crosses into the crowd
Mm.
in a semi-final? Which was I mean, in some ways Tuchel's hands are tied there if he decides to go against that, because Rodgers is not he's not the kind of guy who's going to take on his man as much as Madueke would,
Mm-hmm.
and it's weird. You'd back him if he had the space, and for the goal he had loads of space
Mm-hmm.
because we won the ball high up. Um, but he's not as much of a sort of beat your man on the ball kind of player.
No.
So I think there's nothing wrong with that. If we're trying to pick the bones out of it, that's a choice, but
Mm-hmm.
not one that necessarily weakens us. And getting an assist for the goal, I mean, it's kind of vindicated as well.
Yeah.
Um, I'm still angry about how he dealt with the one breakaway we had post goal.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's on him rather than Tuchel.
Yeah, and I think that everything after that is basically all we're gonna really discuss. So I think it's from the goal. You have the Jed Spence tackle, which was a moment where I really thought, okay, yeah, they're up for this. I know we got a long time to play, but that's gonna keep them fired up, keep them going again. And I think we had maybe 2 or 3 minutes after that goal where we were sort of like we did against Mexico, like trying to go again, but it was so short lived that it really doesn't last long in the memory. And then it's been a debate that's obviously been online the whole sort of since full time and in my own head as well, whose sort of fault everything sort of was after that. And I agree with like some of the thinking in a way that it's the players that started the sort of sitting far too deep and everything else. I mean, there's evidence of Anthony Barry telling the players to push forward when they're not. There's evidence of sort of the positions of the midfield are sort of going a bit too deep. But I think once we got to that hydration break, and Tuchel, instead of trying to get them out of that funk by putting players on who could be outlets for that sort of thing, like your Rashfords, or keeping Gordon on, or bringing Madueke on, or bringing Ivan Toney on to be a target man, or Watkins, just instead of doing that, he takes Gordon off, he takes Rice off, throws O'Reilly in there, throws Konza in there, and puts Reece James in that midfield, which I think didn't help the sort of fear that the England players might have been feeling when they were starting to sit back. It's like, oh, okay, the manager's subconsciously as scared as we are by throwing on these defenders. That's not, in my opinion, going to sort of give them the sort of belief they need to get out of that situation and play out and find the way out, which, I mean, the statistics speak for themselves. We had what, average of 12% possession. We had about 3 touches in there in the opposition's half after the 75th minute, which were all Jude Bellingham in a 1v3 breakaway, which he was never going to win. And obviously everything after the second goal, I think, contributes to that in terms of the touches. But it's just boggles my mind that we've had all this talk from Tuchel, all the interviews from the last 2 years of how Southgate's set up in those final games, the fear, how wrong that was for him to do, and how that's not what he's going to do when he comes in. He's going to set them up to play rather than not to play to win rather than not to lose. Was, I think, is the wording he had in that interview from just after he got appointed, and I think that's where a lot of people's anger comes from. That this was what we were told throughout the entirety of the build and the tournament itself, that Tuchel's been brought in to be this difference maker, to completely not enable the defensive mindset that he's now claiming is a DNA part of England, which I think is rightfully wound up the nation even more, because that there is a tiny bit of element of truth in there, but there's no sort of self-reflection from him. It's like, well, you were brought in to fix that, and you said you were going to do that. Like, you outwardly said that was what you were going to do. So it's just everything from that hydration break onwards that wound me up. And I remember being sat with you during the game where you were doing as you normally would, getting a little bit fearful when they were coming forward, and I was trying to be like the sort of the antagonist to that, being like, no, it's all okay, it's all fine. But I remember being so quick to joining you in the fear because it was relentless and we weren't doing anything to stop it. And the fact that Tuchel then didn't just change it in a more positive way than he did is, we sort of fed ourselves to the wolves. I mean, it works against Mexico as it would, but we're not up against Raul Jimenez and Quinones this time. We're up against the best player of all time, arguably, and Julian Alvarez and Enzo Fernandez, and just world-class attackers and finishers and crossers of the ball, that if you give them 100 chances, which we didn't even need to do that, we gave them 5 or 6, they hit the post twice and then scored twice. It was just insane tactical thinking in my mind. I know me and you can sit here all day and with the hindsight and everything else, and we're nowhere near any sort of level to give this sort of opinion and to have any sort of bearing on how people higher up than us would think. But it's just where everyone's asking the same questions, including pundits as well, and the fact Tuchel's not really answered it in a way that reflects on him, and it's sort of trying to deflect the blame a little bit, is probably what's wound me up the most.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with most of what you're saying. Yeah, we just. Oh, I'm gonna. Okay, right. Let's do this.
Yeah, get out, let it out.
So I'm not. I don't. What I'm gonna say, I don't think this is a hot take.
Okay.
Right. It's probably an unpopular opinion. But I think that this is more on the players than Thomas Tuchel. I don't think the tactics were wrong per se. Like, I wish we were more, attacking. But I think it was more that the application of those tactics were the issue. And maybe that should be a factor in whether you want to deploy those tactics, if you haven't got the players to play them out as you want. But I think 1-0 up in a World Cup semi-final, they scored with 5 minutes left?
Yeah,
normal time. I don't blame it. I can't say that's the wrong thing to do. I just can't.
Okay.
And it's the defending is so deep, right? But then we can't be so deep and then just not pick up players on the edge or not mark Lautaro Martinez. Like, why are we, like, he had so much room for that winner. So much room. And there's so many people in that box. And, I've seen all the graphics about how Anderson comes out to double up on Messi, leaving Fernandez free and Bellingham can't get out enough. Like, where's everybody else? Like, where is our midfield? I mean, if you want to criticise Tuchel, I mean, the Rice sub, we don't know why he was subbed off.
Yeah.
That feels like an oversight.
It was the. I mean, it might not be a direct correlation, but that was the turning point. We had the control went again. I remember saying it
Yeah.
after Mexico and after Norway. Whenever he comes off, and obviously after Croatia too. Whenever he comes off, whether by force or by tactical choice, it's just the rhythm just isn't there anymore, and he relies on Reece James to go into this midfield. Obviously, we praised it after Norway and everything else because it works because we can then move him back
It,
again.
it
But
it does seem odd that if that is purely tactical, that he'd rather keep Elliot Anderson on than
Mhm.
Declan Rice, who can. I've seen it so many times, just like even in like the 87th minute, just run the length of the pitch
Yeah, I mean,
if we
we
needed
saw it
him
for
to
the
do that.
breakaway for the first goal against Mexico. Yeah, he can just go and go hard again. His illness might have played a part, but it's not been said that it did. Which, so
I mean, he
yeah,
started the game, so
yeah, and you have to think, oh, he had 3 more days after the Norway game to recover, and he trained full time.
um,
Yeah,
so yeah, my gut feeling is that that was on the players, and I feel like that, and also, as I said earlier, the decision making on the one time we did break away, absolutely shambolic,
hmm
where we had, well, it was like a 3-on-3, at least, I can't even remember, and Morgan Rogers, he can play it out wide, he you know, and he just leaves it too late, and then just has a blocked shot, and like we, it's like we're not going to get a chance like that again, and we didn't.
nah,
Um, But I also think that the post-match quotes kind of also, they don't vindicate Tuchel, but they almost prove to me that it's on the players. Because Harry Kane comes out at the end of the game. Some of these quotes really piss me off. Um, Kane comes out at the end of the game saying, "Oh, you can't go 1-0 up in against Argentina and just hold on." I'm like, well, don't do it then.
mm.
And he also said that the message from Tuchel, etc., was to keep pushing.
Yeah, which is
Um,
evident by from what we
so
saw
it's
from the
like
first one.
they're not listening, or this almost like there's something within them that leaves them unable to do it, like DNA. I don't know. But Mark Gay came out and said the same thing. We should have kept on pushing. Like, so it's like they've completely ignored the instructions. So like the players have collectively shat themselves. Um, and the fact that we were so deep that late in the game, kind of, well, maybe that's actually what happened.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I do agree with you in the fact that it's the players who started it with what they had on the pitch. They were just collectively going back and back and back. But for me, that's where Tuchel needed to bring on someone to help them out. Just because we were booting the ball away, but we had Harry Kane still on the pitch when he was still sitting deep. That's where you need to bring on Watkins or Tony, just to a different striker who's going to hold the ball up a bit. Then you don't take Gordon off if you're not going to bring on Marcus Rashford or Madueke or
yeah,
Robert Hudson.
it had to be like for like, didn't it?
Yeah, to run the
Because
ball
then the
away.
shapes, what the hell's the shape?
Oh, it was. Yeah, we were playing six at the back for the final 5 minutes. It was ridiculous. Like, we had flat back line of Burns, Stones, Guehi, and Konza, all of them sort of in the 18-yard box, and none of them picking up Lautaro Martinez, which is,
Konza,
as you say,
man.
just insane.
I think it was Konza who should have had Martinez, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's neither him or Stones are getting him. So yeah, you
Um,
probably more to
because he
that.
could see him.
Yeah, 'cause he's
I think
obviously
he's behind
Stones, isn't he?
Stones.
Yeah,
Um, and the fact he like jumps for the ball, it's like, well, you're not getting that, are you? He's heading
mm,
that in too
yeah,
late. Um, and you'd think a bit of proper man-to-man marking would have, helped.
yeah. Especially if
And
you
also,
centre backs for it. Yeah,
I still can't get out of my head the idea that you just need to hold. You do just need to hold on at that point. There's not that long to go, and if
mm,
we get to extra time, it's anyone's then.
yeah,
I think probably the point where I got really angry during the match was when they equalised, and then the pattern of the game did not change. It
yeah.
was as if we were at 1-0 holding on again.
Just carried
It
on.
was like, we're like, oh man, we've been sitting back and now they've scored. Hey, do you want to do that again? Should we try and do it again.
Yeah, whether that's on the players or the manager, yeah, nothing changed at all. There wasn't.
Just boggles my mind. I just don't understand how that happened. Because as soon as they scored again, we're on the attack.
Yeah. Oh, well,
So
we
can flick the switch.
Now we're going to throw Tony and Rashford on, even though we got 90 seconds to play.
Using Ivan Toney for that is.
It was that shouldn't have wound me up as it did, but I remember at the time just being so angry. It's like, why are you doing it now? I know it's the last chance, you have to do something, but you've brought him out there to that tournament.
But also, then is also a good chance to have even more width, get balls in the box and stuff. I mean, as we know, there's a lot been made about the centre backs aren't that tall.
Yeah,
mainly Martinez, but. And we'd already scored from a cross, a low cross, albeit, but a lot of it is hindsight, and I think a lot of the anger from the media has been, it's just been dipped in hindsight. It's all hindsight. It's all like, oh, we should have done this and that.
Yeah,
and
like, imagine if we conceded against Mexico late on, we would have been having these conversations. I know we were down to 10 men in that game, but there would have been.
But that's the thing. That's why I think the approach itself wasn't the wrong approach.
I think it started far too early. I think was the problem. The main
it did feel like as soon as we scored.
Yeah, that is where subconsciously you do just get exhausted and you drop further and further and further and further. Where if we sort of carried on playing as we did for another 10 minutes, then perhaps by the time we get to the 85th, we aren't panicking as much.
Yeah,
I know they would have.
But you have to have basics. Like, don't give Enzo Fernandez the freedom of the state of Georgia.
Oh yeah. It was the fact that we were surviving these, like, their actual in-play attacks. I know they were hitting the post from a lot of them, and Pickford had to make one very, very good save. But yeah, the fact it was a set piece routine that they'd done the same thing 3 times.
Yeah, they always did the short corner
every single time. Messi
gave it back to Messi. Yeah,
and it was a simple triangle where we were always going to double up on Messi, but one of Rodgers and Bellingham,
and except we didn't need to.
Yeah, in a way,
again, in hindsight, but
even if we didn't do that, you don't give the man with one of the best left feet in the world the chance to cross it in. You make sure he has to pass it, but then
well, he crossed it anyway, though, didn't he? That's the thing. Doubled up, and he still did his thing
on his outside. But I think as well with the sort of the going back early as well, the sort of dropping back in, I think that's what also encouraged Argentina to make the changes that they made.
Yeah,
like, I know they had to chase the game anyway, but Scaloni's come out and said, well, they just kept sitting back, so we threw on Martinez as early as we did, because we can go win the game now, because they're not responding. They were waiting for Tuchel to throw on one of our fast attacking players, and we just didn't do it. Like we've seen in the other Argentina games, when they take the lead, they played exactly how England would play in the latter stage of their games. They'd sit in.
And how breakaways really hurt them. Look at what Egypt did.
Cape Verde scored one of their goals from one of those, and everything else like that. And they don't have the speedy outlets on the bench to bring on to sort of stop that. Like that is something that Tim Vickery has highlighted all tournament. One of their biggest weaknesses is they don't have legs to bring off the bench, whereas we had so many options. And these were the players that Tuchel brought for those reasons. Like there's a reason he left Foden at home and Palmer at home, because they weren't speedy players who could just run at the defence. They're the technical passers who need a bit of space and time and things like that. So that was another reason why it's so frustrating to see us do everything that Tuchel had said we're not going to set out to do, and just not respond to the threats that we were getting. And once it's too late, then there we go, we'll get Rashford and Tony on there. That will make all the difference in the final 90 seconds.
Yeah.
But we're still leaving Konza on the crosses for those. I know we only had one attempt to do that, but it's like,
he had more than one.
Yeah. He did have 2, didn't he? I think, both of them just far too flat, not getting over anyone.
I'm not joking. That's what I would have done. That's what I would have done with all the way in the world, trying my best to put the ball in the box. That's what I would have done.
Yeah. And we had Dan Burn playing up top with Ivan Toney, and when you've got a 6'5" guy in the box, you have to get it high. I'd much rather him overhit the cross, at least, rather than underhitting, because that is always one of the most frustrating.
No. That's just as bad.
No, I know it is, but at least then he's clearly aiming for a really tall guy, not he's just hoping to get it in and around the box. It is a courses for courses type of complaint, that, but. Yeah, it was.
I think this is the problem with how we sort of process defeats in big games, particularly with the media. They always look for a scapegoat, someone to
Yeah.
blame, and I mean I shouldn't be surprised how the media responds to these kind of games,
Oh, of course not.
but it was like, oh, same old story, and it's like we're bloody 5 minutes away from winning the semi-final. It's not the same old story in the slightest.
Mm.
The point was that we went out. I think we just like everybody just forgets the binary nature of tournament knockout football, where if you lose, you might lose, and if you
Yeah,
lose, you're out. And
yeah,
it's like,
100%.
oh man, it's like, oh, we didn't win the World Cup again. That's
Yeah,
basically the main thrust of the anger is just, oh, we didn't win the whole thing. Ridiculous. It gets 60 years, like ridiculous. Like, and it's like, well, only one team's going to win it. And frankly, we're clearly not good enough.
well, but I think that's where the frustration has sent it into overdrive as well, because the belief had been built throughout this tournament. Obviously, the win against Mexico, I think, sent it. It's the thing that sent it into overdrive. That
I think, yeah,
everything
but
felt
you look at,
different this time.
we, despite
And
those wins, we are clearly not on France's level,
oh
Spain's
yeah,
level.
yeah, we
And that
we
doesn't mean we shouldn't win the games,
no
because we
no
absolutely could have won that game on
yeah.
Wednesday.
That's how you win tournaments. Sometimes you don't have to play well in any of your games as long as you just get the wins. I mean, apart from the sort of 30 minutes in the second half against Croatia, there wasn't really much football to admire from us in this tournament. I know that's a much easier thing to
No,
reflect on
I
when
think we
you're out.
managed the Norway game really, really well.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, once after they hit the bar, yeah, they
I don't
weren't.
think you can expect to steamroll a really good team
No.
ever. Like, it'd be nice if we did, but I don't think it should be an expectation.
Yeah, no, of course. And you are completely right with the sort of forgetfulness of not like there's such a slim chance of us winning the World Cup, even if we are backed up as one of the top three favourites in the tournament. Like you have to, like football is football. Things will go wrong and things will not go the way you want it to go. But obviously, everything just stems from the fact we were 5 minutes away from making the final, and just the
Yeah.
nature of the collapse that we saw. Obviously, it was building and building. It wasn't sort of out of nowhere. But the fact it was two goals as quickly as they were,
We,
one after
we,
the
we
other.
gave them those goals.
Oh yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
let them have those goals.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that's why I was angry before, way before the winner.
Yeah,
Never mind
yeah.
full time whistle.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, you feel just let down.
Yeah, you do. And the fact as well is the warning signs carried on right until that second goal. Like the fact they hit the post from a very clear chance, we still couldn't reorganise in the three passes they made before Messi put the cross in to mark the only man at the back post. It's just, it was just so frustratingly embarrassing to watch that back and just every single little bit. And I know there's been a lot of sort of really over the top reactions to what should have been done to the managers correctly after and everything else. I know some of the comments he said has wound me up very, very much, and I'm reminded why at the end of his Chelsea stint I didn't really like him anymore, Thomas Tuchel, because he can, no matter how much good he can build up and how much his good character could come across, he can do some. He has done a lot of things in football where are just left so frustratingly dumbfounded by his decisions, and then by what he says afterwards as well, that doesn't really explain anything at all and sort of shifts the blame a little bit. It's incredibly frustrating, but we are where we are now, and I mean we're going to move on now to how sort of the fallout was immediately with the Argentinian players and their reactions and everything else, which I think there's plenty to delve into there, so we probably should.
I mean, all I want to say is like France wouldn't have done this to us. Spain wouldn't have done this to us. There's a real immaturity to Argentina, and I don't want this to come across as
It's all illusory, yeah. No, I
yeah,
know.
I don't want it to sound like sour grapes or whatever. But like from like Valentin Barco's running onto the pitch for the equaliser.
No,
Like,
that was the full time whistle. We did that.
Oh, I could have sworn that was the equaliser.
No. When he runs across in front of all the England players,
Damn, I've
that's
been, I've been,
oh, that was a
I've been
that was true. If
shafted
that was
by
the equaliser, he
online.
should have been sent off. It was yeah, that was very much a sending off
Damn,
offence if that during the game. Yeah,
I've
that
been
would have been
absolutely
insane.
done by Twitter.
Oh
But
yeah,
yeah,
no, that was very much the
never
after
mind.
the whistle had gone.
That doesn't excuse the behaviour.
No, of course not. Yeah, I
Um,
mean, there's about 5 or 6 incidents that we're going to dig into where on another day one of them should have been punched in the face. But I was amazed no one actually did lose it to that level. I know we had some petulance from the England players in
yeah,
response, which
but
I'm
also
actually
it
cool.
kind of goes in line with how they approach the game itself, where they're hitting our players in the back of the head.
Oh yeah.
Um, uh,
Surrounding the referee
in the
when
oh my
England make
gosh,
a
in the
tiny
opening
foul.
minutes, yeah.
Mm.
And it's kind of like they've got this sort of attitude built into them, where they sort of take on this warrior spirit a bit too much.
Yeah, and so many of them clearly want to be a villain in these stories as well. It's like
Yeah,
Enzo Fernandez, as a Chelsea fan, I've known this for a long time. That's how he sort of channels this sort of ability in the game. He wants to wind the opponent up. He wants to be this person that the opponent's going to hate. And
this is what I don't get though. These are like human beings.
Mhm.
I don't understand what they get out of it.
Yeah, especially
Um,
some of it, like when Romero I think it's after the equaliser, screams in John Stones' face and then swings an arm celebrating. And Mark Guehi flinches because he thinks he's going to hit him. Is how sort of in his face he was with that. And then there's obviously the Barco stuff as well. It's like you've won the game at that point. Like why are you celebrating an England player's face? They haven't done anything to deserve that in that sense. You, as you say, they're human beings. Well, where's a bit of sportsmanship and everything else? And as you say, I'm not expecting that from any other team. If they'd beaten us like that, there would be humility and respect and everything else between the players. Because if it's during the game, I can understand it because you're trying to wind the opponent up and you'll sort of get their anger up so they'll make a mistake and everything else. That's sort of a way to approach a football game. But once the game's over, like you've made the final, lads. Well done. You don't need to scream into every single one of the opponent's faces, then clearly say something as Barco did, forgetting that Jude Bellingham can speak Spanish and have him react
yeah,
and slap him on the back
but
of the head.
it's like it feels like it's all for getting a reaction. But then
Mm.
what do they get out of getting a reaction?
Yeah, because England are out, so who cares if one of their players gets banned at that point? What's that to you? That's going to make no difference to you. Like you're not coming across any positive way here. So yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
definitely a
It
thing
should
that's
be worth mentioning that they did try to provoke us during the game as well.
yeah. But as I say,
But you come to expect that.
there's a sporting sort of thing to achieve from that. Yeah, whereas after the game, it's just nothing. And I mean, there was a clip of Enzo Fernandez going when the England players were clapping their fans. Enzo Fernandez did come back over and. Albeit it was only his Chelsea teammates and former teammates that he shook hands with and sort of gave them some condolences. But I think that was the only thing I did see, whereas everything else was a bit much. I know we can go back to France-Paraguay, where the French players didn't give Paraguay any sort of condolences, but even then, that was just
Well,
Mbappe ignoring.
they brought that on
Yeah,
themselves,
yeah, it
really.
was the other way around type thing, wasn't it? Where yeah, the Paraguay players have been winding them up all game. I would have been interested to see how the Paraguay players would have reacted if they had won that game, whether that would have been very similar to Argentina, which I don't think it would have been considering the sort of narrative you get out of South
I
America.
felt like that what Paraguay were doing, they were just doing anything to win the match. It
Mhm.
didn't feel like it was a personality thing coming out,
No,
which is
yeah,
what I feel like the Argentinians seem to be just very childish.
yeah,
Um, and I mean, I'm not going to say what how they should feel about certain things, but can we talk about the Falkland sign?
yeah. That is sort of the big next,
Like,
isn't it?
I'm not of that era, right?
Yeah.
But I think war is wrong.
No,
None of the Argentinian players were born when the Falklands War happened,
no,
and yet it's clearly just been sort of embedded into their psyche that this is an important thing to them based on where they were born. If you want to, lay it out like that. Um, I, I mean, it's th- the stuff that's on the sign is just like factually wrong.
Hmm.
Whatever way you want to look at it. Um, and I just don't know why they care that much. I'm not an expert on the culture and whatever, but the fact that it's a football match and they've just brought that into it. I mean, what are they doing? Who's that for?
Mm. Well,
Because it's not going to change anything. It's
no,
not going to, we didn't put the Falklands on the line here,
no.
right? Um, and it, if it's just to wind people up, what's in that for you?
Mm.
And then if that's a thing to sort of g up your own crowd, that's like that's just like a psychological issue that those
Well,
people
yeah.
have, in my opinion.
I know I said last week, like you, I'm not a massive expert on this, but that is what I know of Argentinian sort of mindset, that their sort of generation above the players are big on sort of standing for that war, and that is what they believe, and that will make their fans happy to say, oh, look, they're showing the English, oh, we even though we did lose that war, we still believe this, etc., etc. There's gonna be a section of that fan
A
base.
war that they instigated
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah. But yeah, that is again, that is sort of part of the same mindset that brings out the childishness in them. I believe that the Argentinians, I mean, there are a lot of their fellow countries on their continent sort of try and distance themselves from Argentina quite a lot in terms of their history and how their sort of population came to be over the last 150 years and everything else, and their rejection of certain South American cultures and whatever else. So that certainly plays a part in all this psychological stuff that they do with all the wars and everything else, and the thinking. I mean, it blends into the chants about the French players when they won Copa America last year and everything else, that they don't see it how the rest of the world sees it, in terms of how sort of unnecessarily disgusting sort of idolizing all this sort of thing is. There's levels of racism and warmongering and everything else. It's part of their culture, from everything I know of, which makes it a bit of a shame. But I think at the end of the day, that in itself as its own thing, like the fact it's about the Falklands, doesn't annoy me at all. It's the fact that, and FIFA are probably only going to give them a slap on the wrist for this, whereas England have been told for years and years, oh no, you can't wear a rainbow armband. Oh no, you can't wear a poppy on your shirt. Political statements are not allowed from the players on the pitch. And the fact they've gone out their way, after the full time whistle's gone, to make a political statement, whether they agree with it or not, or whether they're just doing it for shithousery levels that clearly they really love doing, they should be
In
punished.
in this game as well
Yeah,
against us.
against England. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there's clearly a
They
big.
have done Falkland banners before, but obviously this is a very deliberate
Mhm.
timing. It's not a
Yes, yeah,
coincidence.
exactly. And so it's so annoying that, I mean, it's gone. But I mean, FIFA have blown up their reputation during this tournament anyway, and what players can and can't do
Yeah.
according to their rules. But yeah, it was sad to see that they rightfully beat us on the pitch from all the footballing that happened. Why can't they just be gracious in that and
Yeah.
sort of be gracious winners like almost every other team in this World Cup
Also,
would
just
be?
like it's a banner.
Hmm.
Like it's just like a rubbish way of like showing support for something.
Mm.
I mean
I
I
mean,
don't know
it
what
was
the
it was a sharpie on a bit of sheet as well. It wasn't even
well
like
the
it was a
I
proper
don't know what the
banner or anything.
alternative is, but like
Mm.
it's a bit pathetic anyway.
Yeah,
Just
but
do
well done, lads. Yeah, that's not made any difference. You just celebrate the game of football that you've won, and you're in a World Cup final. It's like, who cares about England? Why should you care
yeah.
about
You
England at that
your
point?
first thought shouldn't be Falklands.
Yeah, let's wind up the English even more. Yeah, that's really gonna. That's an extra goal for us. Yeah, well, we 1-0 up in the final now. Yeah,
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
No, nothing. You get nothing from it.
Um, Not ironic at all that they're playing against their previous settlers.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. They're former colonisers. Wonderful. Yeah, and the rest of the world are in support of the colonising country rather than the victims. It's
um,
all wonderful. Yeah.
yeah. But then it also, as much as that's not a sporting thing, it then spins round into a sporting thing. Where there was a thing on the news yesterday, I think, because obviously people like Lisandro Martinez playing over here, and people, Vox Pops are the worst form of media,
Oh yeah,
um,
always.
just in general. But like they were like, they're asking fans on the street, "Oh, should Lisandro Martinez be punished when he comes back to England?"
Mm.
It's like I don't know what they wanted them to say. Yeah, he should be exiled to
Yeah.
uh, to 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 Spain or something. I don't know.
Mm. Yeah.
Like I don't know what they wanted him to say.
It's like
Uh,
they're asking the average person who has probably exactly the same level of knowledge on all these political leanings as we do. So yeah, they're not going to get anything of useful sort of
yeah,
commentary
but
from.
I think that all that kind of just proved like a sore winner is worse than a sore loser,
Mm-hmm.
in
Oh,
my opinion.
100%. Yeah. At least a
Like,
sore
it's just
loser, it's
like
like your emotions are getting the better of you, whereas sore winner, there's no sort of
at least sore losers have a reason to
yeah.
feel like that.
Yeah,
But
whereas yeah,
they've
sore
just
winners, there's no neurotypical reason for you to act like that. It's like,
neurotypical.
yeah, that's how I'm gonna word it. Yeah, that's what I'm
Okay,
going with. Yeah,
all right.
they're all wrong. That's what they are. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so
Shall we talk about people's sort of immediate reaction to suggesting that Tuchel should have been sacked on the spot?
yeah, the amount of the number of Captain Hindsights going around after Wednesday is unbelievable. I
Hmm.
mean, you expect it from your Talk Sports, your Skies,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
all that. Um, I mean, where do you begin? There's loads of them. Do you have anything in mind?
Um,
I feel like you want to have a go at somebody.
Yeah, there's one I might as well. As one of our favourites, Rory Jennings, has been as vocal as he always is when one of his teams loses a big game on Twitter. He doesn't use Twitter more than one tweet a week normally, but he's put probably about 10 tweets out since full time on Sunday, and learning afterwards
Saying
that
things that I assumed that
Tuchel should have
we
been
all
sacked.
knew were true at every point,
Mm,
but
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
only relevant because we lost.
Tuchel should be sacked tonight. Called him a chauvinist. He called him various
A
other names.
chauvinist because we
Very.
lost the
Because
game,
we lost the football game, yeah. Yeah.
right?
Every single name under the sun. I think this certainly stems from something I learned afterwards that he bought a non-refundable flight for the final during the game on a live stream, and once we took the lead, so that's on him. That's no reason to act
Might
like a
might he
petulant
be
child.
feeling quite upset about that?
Yeah, I think he might be. I think there's a good reason for it.
That's
But
even if we won, that's a poor decision, isn't it?
yeah, but just pick out some of his tweets. He's called him a fraud. He's called him a mercenary. He's called him. He said accused Piers Morgan of being his best friend because Piers Morgan defended Tuchel despite the results. He's called him disgusting. He said on Monday morning it's disgusting. He's still in the job at this moment. That he's a failure, a fraud. So I understand you're angry. England have lost a football game, but you're a 40-plus-year-old man who works in sports media, and you're acting like a 5-year-old online because you know
No,
you're going to get some audience and some reactions from it.
well, that's the thing. You kind of hit the nail on the head. Works in sports media, as in, he fishes for likes for a living.
Mm-hmm.
And whether he's right or wrong, that's I imagine gonna get reactions.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got one out of you.
it has. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think I said on this pod quite a few months ago that yeah, I stopped replying to him a long time ago because I was giving him exactly what he wanted. But at least with this, he won't see it, so who cares? But yeah, it's little
We
bits
can
like that. But
we
he's
can
got
try our
he's
best to change that.
yeah, of course. But he's not been the only one. There have been people in much more respected jobs in sports media, in my opinion, anyway, who have had similar reactions that they think on his Tuchel's decisions of 30 minutes of football, albeit the most important 30 minutes of football during his career as England manager, that is grounds for him to be sacked on the spot for whatever reason. It's not been helped by, I think, Ornstein giving lots of leverage to the fact that Pep Guardiola had a handshake deal for the England job back in 2024, and then Pep changed his mind, which led to the Tuchel hiring. I think that's annoyed people even more because of how Pep is viewed. Just one of the best
I
managers in the world,
genuinely, I
etc.
don't need another reason to not want to watch England. I do not want that to happen.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
You
if
know,
it brings success, we can play as poorly as you like. In my opinion, we sit through every tournament where we.
Pep Guardiola literally is forged, not forged a career. He's made his career based on buying whoever he wants to fit his system and getting the best players in the world in his teams. He's going to find himself somewhat limited if he was to be England manager, and our ability to play in his style is not that's not a given
No,
to
of
put
course
to
not.
put it
Yeah,
lightly.
Obviously,
So there's no, that's a huge reason why the idea that the FA go, oh, he wins matches, let's buy him. It's like when they were all gunning for Mourinho, not long after he'd gone to Chelsea.
oh, yeah, back in the '08 when we hired McLaren. Oh, sorry, '07. It would have been
Would you have him now?
Oh, no, not a chance. Yeah, but yeah, he's not.
It'd be fun
Yeah, yeah,
at least.
but yeah, I mean,
But no, I
it's
think
just as boring. So
that you know he's was hired as a tournament guy,
hmm
and you can tell that by his squad selection, by his tactics, and I can't. You can criticize his decisions, but you can't just rip things up as soon as it goes wrong. Because then you've got to get someone else in
yeah,
who's likely not as qualified
yeah, and
in
it's
a way,
starting the
because
cycle all over again. Which
we haven't got like someone doing like the hard yards like Southgate was doing. You know,
no,
I mean, if there is someone like that, it's Lee Carsley.
no, yeah, that's exactly
Is
what's going to be my point. Yeah,
is there an appetite to bring Lee Carsley in?
well, that's,
I'm not
I've seen
sure.
a lot of sort of revisionism online the last 2 days of clips of Angel Gomez tearing it up in midfield once when Lee Carsley was our manager. But people are quick to forget how quickly it went wrong and how quickly the fans turned on him when he decided to experiment against Greece, and we
But
lost
that's
that
the
game
thing,
quite
he
heavily.
had license to
He
experiment
did,
because it
yeah,
wasn't going
yeah,
to be a
yeah.
long-term thing, and it's the Nations League
But
that
yeah,
we won without trying too hard.
yeah, exactly. But the fact that the fans turned on him so heavily for that was a sign that it doesn't matter who's going to be the manager in charge of England. If you're not winning every single game, or at least looking like you're going to win every single game, then they're going to give up on you as
Yeah,
quickly as
and
they're
that's the
giving up on
thing.
people.
There is like there is nothing wrong with Argentina beating us in the World Cup semi-final. That's a very well, it's not necessarily likely, but it's an outcome that's not surprising in the
Oh yeah,
slightest,
yeah.
right?
Well, they're world
It's where you
champions.
want to be competing for the, we have been so used to going out in disgrace or
hmm
going out on penalties really early,
Yeah,
earlier than we ought to have done. And this is not that. The lack of perspective is crazy.
yeah.
Like we have got to as many semi-finals in the last 8 years as we have done ever.
hmm
Like there is something in the formula that is working. Um, Although I would argue a lot of it is pure talent,
hmm
and I think we gave ourselves too we bigged ourselves up too much when the talent maybe wasn't as high,
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
exception of maybe 04, 06,
hmm
but for a couple of penalty shootouts, who knows what would have happened?
Yeah.
And then our whole attitude changes if
hmm
if that goes. And I've been thinking about this. Argentina, two penalty shootouts in the 22 World Cup. They could easily have lost one of those, and then the whole course of history changes.
hmm
Spain, whenever they won, they've had a penalty shootout. In '08, they had a penalty shootout. In the World Cup 2010, they had a shootout. In 2012, they had a shootout.
mm
Easily just could not have won those, and something would have fallen someone else's way.
hmm
You know, tournament football isn't about having the best team necessarily. You need loads of things to go for you
Yeah.
at the same time.
So
And I
many.
think
It's
the
yeah,
and I
collective
think the big
emotion.
thing that didn't go for us is our best squad was not up to the task in terms of fitness.
hmm
That was probably what held us back the most.
100%. Yeah, yeah.
Um, and that's in spite of you can talk all you want about who Tuchel brought along in the first place, but our best players weren't fit. They've been running to the ground, really demanding season. Um, and we've kind of sacrificed you know England's potential because of that.
Yeah.
And as and but it's kind of it's very human. Like once we go out to sort of just jump on, we're shit.
hmm
because that's kind of, when you boil it down. Okay, we're clearly not as good as Argentina. That's fine, but it's the anger um that can be frustrating. Like, I was angry after the final whistle because of the approach, not because we lost,
Mm.
because of how we lost.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think, especially in the media, who I think really need to be better, it's a bit like, oh, we've lost again. Like we have some divine right to, go far in a World Cup.
Mm.
Like, Argentina have as good a squad as ours.
Oh yeah, yeah, and
Um,
the best player in the world. It does
and
help. Yeah.
yeah, um, and if we'd lost to France or Spain, we'd hold our hands up like they're better. They're better than us. If
Mm.
they beat us on the pitch,
Yeah,
fair
yeah.
enough.
I think that's part of it too. I think there's a denial within a lot of the fan base that Argentina were weren't as good as we thought they were, whereas they clearly are
I
better.
mean, going to extra time against Cape Verde and being pushed all the way by
Yeah.
Egypt does suggest that they were gettable,
Oh, of course, yeah, yeah.
and
It's
indeed they were. We had the game. We had the game won.
I know. Yeah, I do get that. It's like you say, if it was France or Spain who we went out to, I don't think the reaction would be as strong as that because of how Argentina had gotten to that point in the tournament and how they played against the teams that they played against. Obviously, with them going to extra time twice, you would have hoped the legs were on it. But you're right in what you say that our team were running to the ground this season. Like, there's a reason Saka didn't come off the bench clearly because if he was
You
in
don't.
any
You
way
don't
fit,
not bring him on if
yeah,
you
if he was in
can't.
any way fit, then he would have rolled the dice and thrown him on there. But
Yeah.
he clearly wasn't going to be able to provide the legs and the running away that he would have
Well,
wanted
that's
him
the
to
other thing
do.
because obviously he didn't start the Norway game either
Mm-hmm.
after starting against Mexico.
Yeah,
So clearly you're thinking, oh, okay, he's just saving him again. But obviously how the game panned out,
yeah, yeah.
it's
It's
clearly just
interesting to
never even in
his
having a chance
thinking.
of playing at all.
Yeah, whether the extra 30 minutes against Norway was too much for him or not, we'll probably never know. But yeah, it's little things like that with obviously Declan Rice being sort of managed throughout the entire tournament and picking up the illness as well. Harry Kane's played a full season, Bellingham's played a full season, where a lot of the Argentinian team, they have players who they call upon who haven't played the hard yards for Premier League or top European clubs this season, where they've been playing 45 plus games and everything else. So there will be little elements of that, but that's excuses for excuses' sake with that sort of thinking. I mean, I think it's the way we set up with how we saw against Croatia with the hard pressing and everything else. It was said early on in the tournament you can't play 8 games in 3 weeks like that and expect not to be absolutely exhausted by the end of it.
Yeah, you're not
And
going to be at the same intensity for
no,
each one.
exactly.
And
Like,
obviously, the further you go, the more important it is.
hmm
And that's where you're going to be, not at your best fitness wise because you're
yeah,
absolutely knackered. The
exactly. Yeah,
conditions are horrible. There's
hmm
all the flying in between.
yeah,
Um, it's that overcoming that element is probably as important as beating the team on the pitch.
yeah, definitely. I think there was a little noise made about how little Argentina have had to travel during this tournament compared to England as well. I don't think they've had to go. They haven't had to leave the USA for starters, but they haven't gone east coast to west coast like we have, and up and down.
They've all been in Miami and Atlanta, haven't they?
Yeah, so yeah, they've all been on the
Which is
south.
where Messi lives.
Yeah, yeah. I know it feeds into nice conspiracies there, but yeah, little bits like that will add up 100%. And I think we saw in this game that the usual sort of hard pressing that we do, we only really did it for the first sort of 10 minutes. I know in the Norway
Yeah,
game and Mexico we made sure we did it for the first full
but
20, but we clearly just
that's a good approach. Like, in terms of get on the board as soon as you can
oh, of course, yeah. It's just the
when
fact that we
you've got
couldn't.
the energy.
Yeah, we just couldn't do it for as long as we would have liked to have done. Apart from maybe Jed Spence was probably the only person who had the energy to do that. And
Mm.
I can't applaud him enough for his efforts during the tournament and for his performance against Argentina. But when you've got probably 6 of your 10 outfield players who are absolutely buried into the ground off the season, and yeah, we're gonna. There's every right that by the end of the tournament they're going to look knackered. I mean, we saw it in the France Spain game as well. A lot of these criticisms that we're throwing at England could easily be thrown at the French team as well.
Oh, if we did that, we'd be absolutely bollocking each other.
the
Like,
fallout would be even worse. Yeah, if we'd been playing as well as France
and if
playing,
we had a team that good who've been
yeah,
so impressive, and then just doing that in the semi-final,
yeah.
I mean,
It's nothing makes more of a point than what you've made of how tournament football works. It's like everyone had basically wrapped the medals around France from what we'd seen, and one game you can just not turn up and get things wrong, and
yeah.
everything else is how football works. And people seem to forget that with the fallout. I think we're
And
still,
it's that thing. Someone's going to win. Someone's going to
exactly,
lose.
yeah,
The losers are going to be made. More than likely going to be made to look quite as shit.
yeah, yeah.
And um, it was weird. Kylian Mbappe came out at the end of that game and kind of criticised not criticised the tactics. They like realised he got the tactics wrong
Yeah,
and was unable to do it himself mid game, and he
yeah,
lost his head as well
yeah. He did.
when
Yeah,
he knew the game was up.
decision making just all out the window and everything else. Yeah, it's so easy to forget. And I think because we're still so fresh off the defeat, I think it's going to take a long time or longer than normal for people to calm down and realize all these little things that you need the
Because
nuance
I think as
in
well,
thinking.
whether you like it or not, we are going to like start playing football again. We're going to be back into tournament mode. We're going to be qualifying again. We're going to cruise these qualifiers while we've still got them, and we can play these minnows before they change it all.
Yeah,
And we'll get to the Euros, our home Euros, and we'll be up for it again. And we won't forget how we lost this game.
no,
But all our eggs are going to be in this basket now, and
yeah,
it's like this is what matters. Now we can win this, and there's no chance of Argentina, which is wonderful.
yeah,
And we've got previous, and also, I mean, I don't know what we're going to look like in 2 years, but we'll likely have a better team than we had in 2021.
well,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, this is the thing as well. With the one positive sort of long term, looking at the squads that we had out of the World Cup, apart from Harry Kane and Jordan Pickford, this team will be the same team in 2 years' time with
Yeah,
some added elements. I mean, there's
and better in
yeah,
theory,
2 more years matured in theory, yeah, and
at
everything
least.
else.
I mean, I'm looking at Elliot Anderson, people like him, for sure. Where at the start of the tournament was like, is he really good enough to start there and play there? But
Yeah, so this
2 years, and playing at a big team like Man City.
Oh yeah, his game should develop like wholeheartedly. Obviously, he's not going to be under the guidance of Pep Guardiola while he's there. But Enzo Maresca could certainly give him a different element to his game and a different thinking and style. And if that brings some success as well, then yeah, that will build him up. Mark Guehi as well, who will certainly be the right centre back in 2 years' time, unless something miraculous happens with a development of another player, which certainly can happen. I mean, if you go back to the Euros 2 years ago, there's plenty of players who went in this squad at the World Cup you wouldn't have even thought about, which is the beauty of
people can just burst onto the scene.
yeah, they really can.
Like I mean, the main one that springs to mind, Marcus Rashford, completely out of nowhere.
Yeah, yeah,
In January 2016, no one had heard of him,
yeah,
and then he gets in the Euro squad.
yeah. I know it's crazy. So there's lots of little bits like that, but we also have now we're getting to the stage where the players who won like the under-17s trophies and the under-19s trophies, and we've won back-to-back under-21s trophies now, which Elliot Anderson was a key part of the one we won in 2025.
And the underrated element of that is completely different squads.
Yeah,
as well.
exactly. So we've got
So the sort of methods, behind the scenes methods, clearly
work. Yeah, yeah. So there's going to be a pool of players that we can pick from where we can add all the other elements. I know there's a lot of concern of is Harry Kane, what we're going to do after Harry Kane. Obviously, Harry Kane will probably still be playing at a very high level in 2 years' time. You would expect anyway, but
I reckon so.
The lack of
because he's been this good. He's been like up here. Even if he's here in 2 years, that's probably all right.
Yeah, exactly. If you you don't have to build your team around a striker, as it were. But if he's still got the finishing, which he should do, then yeah, he'll be an option to have.
Yeah, so and also he's if he's not going to do anything in the quarterfinal or the semi-final, sorry Harry, hopefully there'll be like a proper alternative where you're like, yeah, let's actually throw him on, because I think I wouldn't be annoyed with Tuchel if he's like, do I really want to throw Ivan Toney or Ollie Watkins on like at 60 minutes
Mm.
in terms of getting a goal
Right.
when
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
Harry Kane that's on the pitch. I'm not
Yeah.
sure, but I think someone else needs to come around who's a different kind of threat,
Yeah.
someone who you might think could do something,
Yeah. Certainly. Yeah.
especially with fresh legs as well. That's another element too. I
Hmm.
think um, it'll probably have to be a certain type of profile or
Yeah,
whatever.
which I think is the problem people have is the fact that's not obvious yet is worrying people. But as we say, people can come out of nowhere. I mean, there are young forwards, English forwards in the development systems who are capable of just producing something ridiculous over the next 2 years. So it's just got to be a bit of patience like that. I know with, as you say, with bringing on Watkins in sort of the 60th minute, I know Southgate did quite a bit in Euro 24, but there was the aspect of Harry Kane wasn't fully fit from what we knew during that tournament. So
Mm.
it wasn't like Harry Kane was firing at his best, whereas we saw in a game like against Congo, he was left on until the 70th minute and he scored both the goals to turn that round. So yeah, again, that will be a hindsight argument, but we can make once the full-time whistle's gone, or why didn't he do that? But yeah, as you say, it's Harry Kane and a fully fit and firing Harry Kane.
You know,
What could he produce?
a lot of it is hindsight. I mean, Sky and Talksport are just absolutely rotten in a major tournament.
Mm.
Like, you got Kave Solokol, bless him, saying that, after the finals, or why didn't Tuchel bring Cole Palmer and Phil Foden? Like
Yeah,
it's so late for that. You can't one defeat. You can't just criticize the squad selection.
yeah, especially
Like
after all
that
the
was made
praise.
months ago, and we were fine up until Wednesday night.
Yeah,
So
that,
suddenly we need two players. Like the rule is, you got a set number of people in the squad, mate. Like you can't do that. And I just like why also why is he just giving opinions?
wow, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
It's
they've fished him out all the way over there, and he's just playing to the crowd here. I
yeah,
think
yeah.
Talksport are worse
Oh, of course.
because I don't know if you've seen this, but they're literally like fighting each other.
Oh,
They're
yeah, yeah.
creating content off their crap content.
Yeah, was it Gabby Bonlahor and someone else were completely going against each other? One
Adrian Durham, bless him, which is code for I think you're an arsehole. But Adrian Durham, bless his heart. Do you want? Have you seen his reaction to
no,
the
his
game?
one's not one I've come across.
Do
No.
do you want to guess which player he criticised after the full-time whistle?
Oh God, probably Harry Kane. Was it Harry Kane?
No.
No.
Try again.
Oh, God. Jordan Pickford.
No.
Jude Bellingham.
No.
Oh goodness me. Go on, you have to tell me. Otherwise, I'm just gonna list off every player.
It is. I'm so ready for your reaction to this. His main issue was with Bukayo Saka.
Oh, isn't that wonderful? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was his reasonings?
Uh, Essentially, that he prioritised his club season, and now he's run himself into the ground, and he should have sacrificed his domestic campaign for the sake of England at the World Cup.
He should have stopped doing his job that he's paid to do because there's a chance that we might win a trophy in the summer.
Yeah, and he actually went on to criticise Declan Rice for the same thing, which I know is just Arsenal rage bait.
It's just
But he actually said those things.
lazy analysis of.
And then they had like another segment, another show, where Laura Kirk-Francis, you know Laura Kirk-Francis, right?
Yeah.
She rightly called him out on the very for the same employers, really weird. Like, okay, yeah, you should call it out, but this feels weird. Like, don't can they do this?
No, yeah,
Can they-
yeah. No, that's part of their trope. That is, yeah. They make sure they disagree with each other because it gets.
How do we make a really confrontational show? I know. Let's get someone on one show to say something stupid, and because they're not having a debate.
No, yeah.
That was
no
Adrian
right,
Durham's show.
It's not a right of reply, is it? Yeah, it's just bad mouthing. So
It just feels really weird. It's a state of the media thing, kind of as well.
It is, yeah.
Which I got annoyed about. Yeah, It's that annoyed me.
Yeah,
I've been reeled in.
been so much of that over the last 48 hours. The
But
age
that's kind of what we've been, you know, come to expect now with any major tournament exit, which happens to all bar one of the teams in every tournament ever. Or unless you're Moroccan. But you know, we need to be better
yeah,
at this,
and
and I think you know, there's no shame going out in the semi-final. It hurts to go out like that. But like you said, I think we will get to say we'd get over it is. I'm not sure I'd phrase it like that.
no,
We should have won the game.
the pain will go away and
Pain
fade.
will go away. It will. The agony will pass, and we'll go again.
Yeah, exactly.
And whenever it does happen, whenever we do go all the way, it's everything before that will be forgotten,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
we're gonna, we're gonna enjoy it. And the longer it goes on, the sweeter it will be.
Oh, of course, of course. It's. I mean, with the World Cup being as long as it has been this time around, with it being 3 weeks,
That's another thing. We've never played that many games at a World Cup before.
Yeah,
either.
It's another prong of difference that people have to navigate. But I think final thing on this before we rightfully move away, before we just carry on round in circles. I think the reactions of the fans in the stadium is something you should always hang your hat on. And I think from what I've seen from those people who were there, it's all been as supportive as it should be, which is a lot of people forget that is your role as someone who follows football, that you're there to lift the team no matter how much they let you
You're
down.
not paying to win the game.
No, exactly.
You're paying to support the team and witness.
You're not paying for them to entertain you. You're there to be a part of the emotion, part of their share the joy and the pain with the players. And I think they were exemplary throughout the entire tournament, especially when we went out, where there was no sort of, but as you can get in some games, immediate sort of falling out. There was no arguments from the players to the fans or vice versa. It was all just, we're all as sad as each other. We've
come a long way since 2010.
Exactly,
booed off.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, the fact we're in a place now where we feel shortchanged when we're not in the final of a World Cup
we should be proud of that.
Exactly.
I think we always, instinctively jump on like, oh, we're never going to win, we're rubbish.
Yeah,
that's really good.
It's a culmination of the fear.
But for the draw, the big teams, obviously they fixed it.
Yeah.
But like Argentina easily might not have made it that far.
Oh yeah,
one of the other big teams could have. I mean, France and Spain could have been a quarter.
Yeah.
Under normal circumstances, but they fixed it.
Yeah, obviously Argentina were 2-0 down in their quarter final as well. So yeah, it's all little things like that, but. This is going to be the discourse for the next sort of 2 weeks or so, especially with no other football being on for a while. And I mean, we can look ahead to Saturday if you want to very quickly. I know.
It's interesting you mentioned that there's not much football going on, because I was triggered by a BBC article from the other day, which said reasons you should watch. Reasons you should care about the third place playoff.
I did read this.
And I don't want to call them out of touch or just like, but okay. Why should I what? These are the 4 reasons for anyone who hasn't seen this. Reason number 1 for watching the third place playoff: the race for the golden boot. Like, hello, we're out. Don't care. Do not care. Maybe we're through. I don't care.
Yeah,
it's just
that's
it's
not a reason.
Stat at the end of the day.
To tune in, yeah.
I don't care about that. Because also because part of it is like Kane might score loads of goals, but it's also like Mbappe might score loads of goals. Like, yeah that's what I really want to see.
And they'd also both realistically need a hat trick, which is considering Messi has another game by himself. It's not a good
chance
reason.
of England's men's best World Cup finish since '66.
Yeah, you can't.
We're out.
Yeah, no matter what anyone says, I don't care if we finish 3rd or 4th.
Don't care.
Zero difference to me.
I mean, I want to win the game.
Yeah,
but I'm not going to go, oh, that's our best since '66. No one's saying that.
Well, it will be a factual statement.
No, it will, but no one's excited by that prospect specifically.
Yeah.
Players who haven't played get in a game. That's meant to excite me.
Ooh, I get to watch Trevor Chalobah play for England.
Yeah, Kobe
Oh,
Mainoo. Yeah, I mean Kobe
yeah, Ivan
Mainoo.
Toney.
It would be interesting.
Yeah,
But
well,
like, I'm not excited.
no. I wasn't excited to watch Ross Barkley play against Costa Rica in 2014 because we were already out. So there,
Yeah,
that's not a not a good
that's the
reason.
same principle, isn't it?
Exactly, exactly.
Reasons to watch are 2014 Dead Rubber.
Hmm.
Yay, Jack Wilshere's playing for England. Yay. No,
Mm.
we're out. We're out. And then also the last one is because it's like there's weeks before football begins again. It's only a month,
Yeah, and
and I don't know about you, but I'm actually done.
yeah, it's going to be nice to have. I mean, it's only realistically about 10 days before the first
I mean, there's Champions League
pre-season friendlies
qualifiers
will
if you're
begin.
really desperate.
Mm. Yeah, you can. Yeah, go watch Kairat Almaty in the next round or Levski Sofia or something like that.
Yeah, did they win? Because
They
that was
did,
during our
yeah,
match.
they won comfortably.
Can't
Yeah,
believe those things clashed.
I did check it. I did check it last night.
Kairat won on aggregate 4-1.
Yeah, they won. Yeah, two late goals it was in their second leg, but yeah, I did see that article and I did not enjoy, but I did see they sort of didn't realise the irony of the whole thing. Where the final line of the article is like, "You're still thinking about the bad news." Answers like, "Yes, obviously." None of this article has made me feel any better or made me want to tune in on Saturday. I mean, I'm going to because sadly I have nothing else going on with my Saturday night this weekend, so I'm going to have it on in the background. But I'm not.
I didn't actually notice that. I didn't make it to the end because I was already pissed off about it.
Yeah,
But it's nice to see an office reference for no reason.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's sad. It's always weird, this fixture. I mean, it was quite refreshing last time round when it was Croatia and Morocco, and both teams kind of cared because
They
weren't
it was
expecting
good,
to get
wasn't
that
it?
far. Or you can go back to 2002, where Turkey actually celebrated it like they'd won something when they won the third place playoff. So
Scored the fastest World Cup goal of all
they
time.
did, yeah. But it's not like we're going to roll out Juice Fontaine to score 4 goals in one game, is it?
Well, we're not.
No one's going to do that,
Fra-
are they? Or that's
France
not
would,
going to
but
care about it. But
he's dead. What are you talking about?
he scored for this. Is why he won the goal. Why he had so many goals in one
Oh, I
tournament.
see.
Yeah, because he scored
Right.
four in the third place playoff.
Okay.
But
Like,
yeah,
Juice Fontaine's not going to play for England. What are you talking about? I took that so literally. I'm
I
sorry.
know, I can tell. It's fine. Yeah, it's a weird game, and I understand the tradition of it. It's like I am a big traditionalist with a lot of things, so I understand it still being a
Me
thing.
too, but I wouldn't miss it.
No, of course not. Yeah, and the human side of me would quite like the players to get a few extra days to spend with their families. And go
Yeah,
home and have a holiday.
like, can you imagine if he plays Saka in this game? I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah, of course, that's going to be a thing, isn't it? If
I
someone-
will,
if
I
someone
will,
picks up a big
I will
injury
lose
or
my head
something.
if he does that.
Yeah,
It'd be funny, but I'm like, what? That'd be so weird. But then who do you play?
Deschamps lines Saliba up one more time, even though he's desperate in need of surgery. He's like, yeah, no, we do. I don't care if you got a broken back. We're playing you. You're playing. Yeah, it's little bits like that which make it. It's going to make it a bit more of a pointless game. 'Cause the players are just going to play like it's a friendly and not want to get hurt and everything else that comes alongside it. And so, yeah, it's going to be a weird game, but I will watch it as if through sort of just
I'm gonna need
intrigue.
some convincing. I think.
Yeah.
But
mean,
because, like I say, I'm kind of done with football. Like,
Yeah,
I said this like in the heat of the moment, albeit on Wednesday. I was like, I don't even want to watch the final.
yeah, no, I've been toying with that feeling over the last day or so. 'Cause I
It's a
remember,
legit feeling. It's
It
like
is,
it's not
yeah.
like I don't want to watch the World Cup final. It's like I'm not going to enjoy it.
yeah, I'm so.
Why would I put myself
yeah,
through something I know I'm not going to enjoy?
Still going to be so sad. Yeah, like, at least with 22, we had a whole week to sort of get over being out and more games in between. Whereas by that
And
point,
because we
cared
went out in
again,
the quarters.
whereas-
Yeah,
and 2018 as well. It's like, I think we were lucky we were on holiday at the time. I think that helps certainly. But by the Sunday, I was sort of. It would have been we weren't expecting to go on to that final and win, so I didn't. I wasn't.
that was
as
the
sad.
that was the thing. Like it was sad that we lost, but like
Yeah,
it
we've
was
gone so far
wild
beyond
that we got that
expectations,
far.
haven't we? Yeah,
And
yeah,
and
yeah.
it was you didn't have this overhanging sadness that we've got now, where it's like we had that game one. I mean, you can we can revisit the Croatia if you want. We've
Oh,
been
no,
winning
no.
that game for a long time,
No, thank you. Yeah, I've had enough at that point. But
but that
yeah,
was totally different.
It's a weird feeling for Sunday because it's also I care a little bit because I'd quite like to see Argentina lose, but I gain nothing from Spain winning a World Cup. It means they overtake England overall wins. It's all
Oh,
other.
that doesn't
It's
matter.
yeah, I know. It's a real. I only care about that very a tiny bit, and it's not like it's an underdog going in to be a surprise winner. I mean, it's the Euros winners against the Copa America winners, like, and obviously the reigning world champions. Like, it's a little bit. There's no real narratives there to get me excited and to get me
Yeah,
out
it's
of the
not. It's
funk
not.
of
I
it
mean,
being England.
part of the pull last time was, is Messi going to win a World
Yeah,
Cup?
exactly. Yeah, Argentina hadn't won it for a long, long time at that point, and France have been in, obviously apart from the 21 Euros, have been in all the finals recently. So it's all little bits like that. It is sort of shines me away from it a little bit. I I will regret not taking it in if it is a good final, but I feel there's a strong risk of it being very cagey. And I mean, they've got a massive act to follow from the 22 final. I don't think you can get a final that's going to be as exciting. It's so
Yeah,
unlikely.
but
Within
I think if you factor in how Spain have gone about their business so
exactly,
far,
yeah. It's going to be
um,
a midfield sort of suffocation type game where they are just going to try and pass Argentina to death. And
I
we'll
hope they
probably
do.
have if they do take the lead, we'll probably play similarly to us, but we'll be much more organised to do so because they have the best midfield, or judging by what we've seen in
They
this
have
tournament.
better players. Oh, that's the trick.
Yeah,
Maybe we need better players. Tuchel should spend some money in the summer
yeah.
and
Or we
sort it
need
out.
we need Chelsea players who clearly care far too much about their international teams and will die for their nation, including like Cucurella and Enzo Fernandez seem to do, rather than when they're playing for their clubs. Little bits like that, maybe, but
And
yeah.
hopefully they lose the World Cup for Lionel Messi.
Oh yeah. And I've seen more reaction to that. 'Cause someone else said it. An Argentinian player said it after the game on the other night too. It's like someone called him out for it. It's like, win it for you, as you've been saying for weeks. It is. It's another part of the Argentinian mentality that I think the rest of the world don't understand either, which is so different to everything else. But
Yeah, like I mean, we said last week, it was like he's already got one,
yeah,
and like
you're
it's a
your own
team
person.
thing.
Yeah, you're a human being. It's like, well, have some joy in your own success. You're not playing for Messi FC. You're playing for your country. But yeah, no, I can't. I sadly can't give any sort of analytical preview for the final because, like you, I'm still so beat up about the other night that
Yeah.
I'm not.
I'm also just like spent.
One thing we definitely can moan about is the non-footballing thing that's going to be happening on Sunday. It's the halftime show, which
Oh,
was
why have you
annoyingly the
reminded me
details
of
of which
that?
annoyingly the details of which were announced just after we finished recording last week. So I feel like it would be remiss of us to not do our jobs on this podcast to just say how much we're going to hate that.
This is the worst. I think the worst of football.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not football,
No, it's not.
which is the thing, isn't it?
It's the capitalism joy of American sports just bleeding in more and more to football
You
every
know,
single year.
remember when we said, remember when we said like hydration breaks weren't like an Americanism
Mm-hmm.
because it's just FIFA sensing opportunity
Yeah.
because of American companies rather than American culture.
Uh-huh.
This is American culture.
Yeah. Yeah.
This will not happen in another World Cup because this is. It could be a handy coincidence in fairness because it's not fans' fault that the Super Bowl exists.
No, it is also not like the first time football have done this. Obviously, not the half-time show of this length, but they've had musical acts at big football games before and things like
Not
that.
right in the middle of the game.
No, it's normally pre kick-off and opening ceremony.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care for it.
No,
but
but yeah, at least that's not breaking up the game and
this
making half-time
is
longer.
the thing for me about this is the length of time
Yeah, the fact
because
that it is
half
gonna
time
add.
ceases to be a half time.
Yeah,
at
it's
this
going to
point.
give the players a break. It's not, oh, we need to fill this with something that people are going to pay more money for. It's to try and justify their ridiculous prices. It goes against everything that
Like
English football's been built on.
like they've got all the big guns out,
They do, yeah.
and Coldplay.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, it's not. Who's it for? It's not
Well,
for anyone, is it?
It's for the fans who are paying for the I've been to a World Cup final type fan rather than those who are there for the football. It's those who have the disposable income to spend 10 grand on a ticket to one game. It's like, oh yeah, if we dangle that in front, more people will be happy to parting with that sort of money. It's all the capitalist thinking that comes with all of this. That is obviously we've been harking on about for the entire year. We've been doing this podcast on how they price this World Cup, and yeah, I was very, very disappointed as well for when it was sort of headlined by the journalists that the bottom caveat was BBC and ITV will be showing this in full. It's like, for goodness sake, like, where are ITV going to put their analysis of the first half in before the second half kicks off then? How they're going to have to rush through that, are they? Brilliant. That's wonderful. Really, really wonderful.
Because at least with American football, you get the breaks in between the plays.
Yeah.
And you can do stuff
game is
then.
analysed almost constantly, isn't it?
But
yeah, the game stops every...
I wouldn't be surprised if it's like they're going to put like Gary Neville in a little corner. And maybe they'll narrate over it.
Oh, well, like Olympic opening ceremony style. Yeah, great. That's going to be wonderful.
Yeah.
I think the thing, obviously, with ITV, they're going to have to fit their adverts in around it, whereas at least with BBC, they'll have a couple more minutes to play with. But I feel for them, the pundits who've been given the job there to try and sort of analyse 45 minutes of football within 5 minutes between three of them. It's a mess. And then we're going to get the joy of what we got at the end of the Club World Cup final of Donald Trump and Gianni Infantino giving the trophy over together. I know this isn't a new thing. Obviously, the Qatari prince gave the trophy over last time out, and presidents have done
it. Yeah, but they also did not have to do this.
No, of course.
This is a conscious choice. It's not like following tradition.
Yeah.
It's not like a custom.
No.
It's just... Yeah, you can give the team the trophy.
It's Trump wanting to be the centre of attention and Infantino not giving him any resistance to that idea whatsoever. And the fact that Trump's not made any effort during this World Cup because he knows how the reaction he's going to get is not going to be positive at all. And
well, he has got involved when it suited him.
No, but he's not turned up to any games at all whatsoever, which other presidents before have.
Okay, yeah, the other heads of state have done so.
Like, Putin was at like.
But I think this is a weird phrase. To be fair to Donald Trump.
Oh wow!
I think there would be security issues with him going to games that might even disrupt kickoff times, etc.
I will give you that for Ben. Concede that.
We can give him the benefit of the doubt if he doesn't like football. He doesn't want to get a bad reaction at sports games, which he has had before.
Oh yeah, all the NBA games and everything else.
And because especially if he doesn't go to an America game, the reaction to him is probably not going to be great.
No.
Although I believe he gets on well with the Argentines. I'm not 100% on that.
He did.
The government, at least. I don't know.
He also met all of them when they won Copa America, so there's that too. But yeah, we're also going to get the American national anthem at the start as well. Isn't that great?
I mean, I get why people don't like it.
Well, yeah,
but I also don't care.
I think that's what that's another thing we should be pushing back on. There's just again more Americanism, sporting stuff.
I think it is. Oh, look at us! We're hosting the final. Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
I mean, as long as it's before the main ones.
Well, that'd be very weird if it wasn't. But I mean, it's still going to be weird if it's the first of a triple act of songs. That's also going to be really strange.
It's fanfare for fanfare's sake.
Yeah, again, more.
And I'm not saying they should do it. I'm not getting annoyed about it because it feels like very typical of America to sort of do this.
But it's just not football, is it? Which is my main problem with it. It takes away from both Argentina and Spain from being in the final, and it's their moment for their players, not for the American fans in attendance. It's again just another silly thing. I think the one thing I am happy about it is going to end no matter how the game plays out on Sunday. The fact that Donald Trump's going to be the final sort of sight of this tournament will remind people who have enjoyed the enjoyable moments of this tournament, this is still, FIFA are still the problem here. This has still been underlyingly a bad thing for football, this tournament and everything else. I do remember thinking during the game when we lost that I was very annoyed that it wasn't going to have the English fans booing every part of this out of the building, which they would have done, because the booing for the hydration breaks have been so loud. It's going to have not quite as the resistance to it as the Spanish fans might have something against it, but the Argentines aren't going to care. which is a shame. But yeah, it would have been just a funny thing, sideshow to see how the English fans would react to this. But instead, we are just going to get the silence and the fallout and everything else, and that's everything we're going to have post World Cup now. Whether the rumblings in UEFA are that they are going to try and find their own candidate now for the presidency. It came out this morning that the head of the DFB, the German Football Association, doesn't stand with Infantino anymore, which is good to see. Hopefully that's the first of many dominoes that needs to fall, because he has, we've said it enough times, and I think it's the best way to try and finish this podcast before the final, that he has been a cancer on football and he needs to be cut out of it. That's good.
Yeah, I think that will happen, especially once the dust settles.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot wrong with the tournament. There's no doubt about that. Just on the human side, more than anything else, you can talk about the treatment of Iran.
Yeah.
The referee wasn't allowed in, the visa stuff. The treatment of the players. I mean, about all the stuff with the heat.
Oh yeah,
you could argue that side of it too.
Mm-hmm.
The nonsense of hydration breaks. Not a football. That's not a football thing.
No, the ridiculousness of the Balogun red card. Yeah,
that political interference.
Mm-hmm.
Which is literally against the rules.
Yeah. Just transport costs, ticket prices. Yeah, just everything else. I mean,
and I think one positive. Well, it's kind of not positive, but like immediately off the back of this will be the Euros campaign, which we're hosting, and hopefully it will be a sort of demonstration of how to do it.
It will be very UEFA to try and get one over on FIFA by making it the most fan.
I mean, they've made that very clear. They're very keen to do that at any point, whether it's employing the ref for the Super Cup final.
Yeah.
Or they said their piece about the Balogun situation, which they didn't have to do that, and they went for them.
Mm-hmm.
So there's clearly I don't know if it's you'd say bad blood, but clearly I think they want to be portrayed as the good guys. For sure.
It's political gameplay. It's sort of that is it in the front and center of it. But if it's beneficial to the fans, then I'm not to play ball.
That's the other thing. The fans are easily just going to back UEFA in that situation. It's an easy win.
And then that's all you need to do. And it's going to be an interesting couple of years leading up to that. I'm not sure when the presidency elections are for FIFA. If there are going to now be one, hopefully, where he's not running unopposed anymore. But we'll have to wait and see with that. One thing I will say though, this tournament has had its good bits too for the off the pitch stuff. It has shown some cities in the US. There's still a lot of good people, and the local authorities there are still very well run. No matter what their overarching government does, they are still capable of helping people out and doing what they can and welcoming.
I think you're right. I think a big message during this World Cup has been that people are nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and a lot of the people who aren't nice appear to be in charge. And
it's strange, that, isn't it? Yeah,
that's an
they're
issue.
able to feed the narratives about people around the world when you're not exposed to them. And unsurprisingly, when human beings come together, they can have a great time, no matter who or where you're from and what you
even
stand
if there's
for.
a footballing level. I mean, I did see some English fans beating up some Argentinians.
Yeah,
not beating them up, but scuffles and stuff.
Like that. Whereas after the Mexico game, from everything I saw in Mexico City, the Mexicans partied with the English fans all night.
Yeah,
long.
telling them good luck and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wanting us to
that's like in the heat at the moment as well.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't expect anything else. Like, I mean, when we went to the Women's Euros final and there's Germans dotted around.
Oh yeah.
We're not rubbing it in their faces.
No,
hoping they have a horrible trip home. Or anything like
shared a
that.
beer with a couple of them before kick-off, and I begrudgingly wished them luck in joking fashion, that I have a good day out.
Oh, that's why we won.
Yeah, because we were gracious. That's
the
how it
reason we
works.
won.
Yeah. But it's little bits like that. It goes back to what we said at the start about the Argentinian players. You can, whistle to whistle, be as much of a do whatever it takes to win type mentality. That's fine. But as soon as that whistle's gone, a bit of humility and friendship and respect, it just goes so far. And Mexico and Canada as well have come out of this tournament looking wonderful, which was expected, and so have a lot of the USA as well. So
I'm looking forward to booing every Argentinian Arsenal come up against in the opening weeks of the season, as is tradition after the World Cup exit.
Yeah,
But they've brought that on themselves.
oh yeah, of course.
It's not an English thing.
No, and if
Um,
Enzo Fernandez ends up staying at Chelsea this season, I think we've seen how much opposition fans have hated Cucurella since the Euros final. I think Enzo Fernandez will get tenfold from how he's putting out the Wonderwall Instagram
I'd
post
probably
and
boo him if
everything.
I was a Chelsea fan.
Yeah, a lot of the fan base don't want him back now, which I'm not surprised by. It hasn't made any difference to me because if you're gonna be like that on the pitch for Chelsea, then that's fine by me. But yeah, it's wound up a lot of people, and I can understand why. So yeah, it's gonna be again another interesting fallout from this. But I think that's something we can analyse next week once the tournament is finally over. I know we've done a brief bit there, but I'm sure next week we can do a proper deep dive into the last 4 weeks
Indeed,
or
we'll
so.
celebrate all the good stuff
Hmm.
and hate on the bad stuff as we usually do, and leave no stone unturned in calling people out when they need to be called out,
Hmm.
etc. That's what we're here for.
Exactly.
That's what we do here.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, on that point, I hope that was cathartic for anyone of an English persuasion.
It's made me feel
Um,
better. I will admit publicly. Yeah, I do feel slightly better.
ah,
Yeah,
ah,
it's always.
I feel quite responsible for that. You're
Ah,
welcome.
yeah. Yeah, she should.
Um, I'm still sad.
Yeah, fair
So
enough. Yeah, I imagine since we log off, I'll remember what happened. It's fine.
yeah,
Short term reprieve. I'll take it.
yeah. Well, hope everyone who's still listening feels the same way, and hope you can find some way to enjoy the final on Sunday and the third place playoff, um, the bronze final, as
Mm.
people keep calling it,
Yeah.
on Saturday. And then until then, um, yeah. Happy hate watching. I will see you soon.
They think it's all over. It is now.